What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Thanks for watching the content here at the Sooner Surge. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Also, like these videos and comment. It really helps us out. Also, check out the FanStop, fanstop.com. Use code SURGE for 10% off signing up for the Shirt of the Month Club. You won't be disappointed. Uh, Softball fans across the country are not disappointed right now because you're getting the top two teams from the bracket in the Women's College World Series Championship Series. Oklahoma versus Texas. To be the best, sometimes you have to beat the best, and both of these teams, I think, are saying that. And it's the matchup a lot of people have been waiting for, Jay, and very exciting the way the Sooners have gotten here, especially with yesterday's unbelievable Sooner Magic win with Jada Coleman's walk-off home run in the eighth inning. And now it sets up this matchup that 2-2 split on the series, on the season series. And now you get the Women's College World Series Championship final, Jay.
Yeah, and let's just preview this first game. I mean, you look at it, we can go off past games if you want to recap kind of what has gone on with OU Texas this season. Uh, you know, you said earlier they split the series. That's correct. That first game, OU got 5 runs. That was the most scored in any of the games this season. I believe that was the game Jada Coleman had 2 home runs. But you look at it, their ace pitcher, stud pitcher, Tegan Kavan, only been in one matchup versus Oklahoma this year. Pitched 3, I think 3 and a third inning, maybe allowing 1 run. So not a whole lot from Kavan in the season series so far. That's going to change in this championship series. I think she will be a major player for Texas. And for OU, you look at it throughout the year. I mean, the pitcher that's pitched the most innings against Texas, it's been Kelly Maxwell. And I think the big question all Sooner fans have right now, Jeremy, who is going to start game 1 for Oklahoma? Looking at the past games this year, Mays pitched a good amount, 4 innings, pitched pretty good. I think 2 runs she allowed against Texas. Kirsten Deal's been in twice against Texas out of relief, has not allowed a hit. And then they've even thrown Monticelli for 2/3 of an inning and Keeney for an inning. So a lot of options for Oklahoma. Who did they go with today, Jeremy?
Personally, I think they're going to go with Nicole May. I don't know. Look, you mentioned Tegan Kavan and Kelly Maxwell as the two, and maybe Kelly Maxwell goes tonight, Jay. I think maybe the decision would be maybe Gasso goes to her and asks her how she's feeling. We know that Gasso doesn't want to tire her out. She threw a lot of pitches yesterday, but she seemed to be getting stronger as the game went. I do think it's going to be Nicole May, though. And one thing I want to bring up, Tegan Kavan, Jay, a one hitter against Stanford. She's been pretty much unhittable
Twice.
in this entire series, uh, in the Women's College World Series. So one thing you have to think about is if OU can get to her a little bit, you then got Mac Morgan, who Texas will bring in, and who will probably pitch the other game. But I think Tegan Kavan goes 2 out of the 3 if there's 3 games. And some of this will depend on how OU hits her. But I think, she's young. Can OU seniors, veterans, those who have been here before, get things going early? I think that's one of the keys, regardless of who's pitching for OU. But if it is May, it could be a May Dill combo, or it could be May going longer. I don't think you can rule out Keeney yet, just because of the amount of innings she's pitched. And I also don't think you can rule out Kelly Maxwell yet.
I agree. I'm just kind of up in the air with who they're going to throw tonight. I do think pretty dang good chance Texas is going to throw Tegan Kavan. I just think that's going to happen. So I expect her to go. You mentioned the one hitter. It was 2 1-hitters against Stanford. She's pitched 2 times in this World Series, and she's had 2 1-hit games. So been outstanding. And you go back to the Super Regional against Texas A&M, where they kind of struggled a little bit. She came in and closed that game out really helped them get to the World Series. So she's kind of been on a roll. OU's got to get to her early. Got to kind of she's a young freshman pitcher. You got to get to her early and kind of have her maybe doubting, because that's how you really get in her head, get some base runners, get some runs early. Looking at OU offensively, it's something in Texas offensively. Two of the better teams in the nation. I mean, these are 1-2. That's the matchup everybody wanted. Great offensive teams. It's which Oklahoma team's going to show up as far as stranding base runners. That to me is going to be a major impact on this game. Is you can't leave 2 to 3 runners on in innings. You got to try to get that. It's those 2-out hits. I mean, you saw it yesterday. Ella Parker gets a 2-out hit to tie it. I mean, you got to have those clutch hits. Texas, let's face facts. Look at the facts. I'm not speaking out the side of my mouth here. It's a fact. They have not been great offensively against Oklahoma this year. So you can take that what it's worth, but OU has pitched pretty good against Texas this year. They've kind of shut them down for the most part when you look at how many runs Texas scores per game.
The other thing that something has to give, and when I mean that, it's Riley Boone. I mean, there's several, Jay. Tiare Jennings yesterday wasn't great.
She's been pretty good, though.
But she's been pretty good. Riley Boone has been struggling a lot this entire series. And I'm going to tell you someone else who's been struggling. Atwood for Texas has been I don't think she's gotten an RBI since the Super Regional. So something's got to give on both sides with that, because Texas hasn't been phenomenal outside of that Florida game where they really put it to Florida. But whose bats are going to get going? That's the key. Look, I think OU's got to take a different approach to Tegan Kavan, because she's not going to walk. She's not giving free passes. Her control has been phenomenal. She's hitting corners. OU, in my opinion, has to go up being the aggressor at the plate.
I would agree. I think that's something they're probably going to have a mindset of. And, she's just been great. And you mentioned Texas not been great. You said offensively in the World Series other than the Florida game. I think one issue to look at that, though, is look at the pitchers. They faced Kennedy twice. They got to Kennedy the first game. In the second game, it was like the 7th inning, I think, when they got to her there, real late in the game. So, it's hard to know because they really put it to Florida. I mean, so here's the thing. Both Texas and Oklahoma can score in big-time waves. And that to me, too, you have to limit the big innings. And specifically Oklahoma, the walks. Go back and look at Florida yesterday, Kelly Maxwell. Yeah, she allowed 3 home runs, but if you don't allow the walks, if those are solo shots, it's kind of a different game. It's 3 runs total. So you can't have the free passes. That's something OU's got to limit, I think. And, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be an amazing, amazing series. I really do. I look forward to it. I think out of this is the fourth, could be the 4th in a row. This is the best championship series, I think, matchup that there's been in those 4.
Oh, 100% for sure. And before we get off here, we want the viewers also to comment. But Jay, who do you got on in the circle, and who is your Sooner standout for Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series tonight at 7:00 against the Texas Longhorns?
I'm going to go in the circle. Gosh, this is so hard for me. I could go Maxwell. I could go May. I could go Kirsten Deal. I'm going to say they go Nicole May. And my Sooner standout, I kind of want to go back and say Deal. It's tough. My Sooner standout today, I'm going to go with Jada Coleman. I think she's going to continue. After that home run, she's going to continue to have a hot streak here through the next few games. I'm going to go with Jada Coleman.
Yeah, and I'm leaning towards May too, but there's a small part of me, Jay, that thinks Kelly Maxwell might get this.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
There's a small part of me that Gasso goes to Maxwell and says, "You want Game 1?" And she says, "I'll do 1 and 3." I don't know, but I'm leaning towards May. My Sooner standout, Jay, is I look. People have been critical of her. I'm hoping she broke out. I think Sydney Sanders has another big home run tonight in Game 1 of this thing. And I'm going to pick Sydney Sanders as my Sooner standout. But drop yours in the chat. We will have content throughout the day. Thanks for watching a content at the Sooner Surge. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we'll see you next time. Boomer.
Sooner.